Welcome, everyone. This is the Telarus Tuesday call for March 17th, 2020. Happy St. Patrick's Day as well. The world has changed significantly since we last spoke, but one thing that has not and will not change is Telarus' commitment to all of our partners, suppliers, and employees. Telarus is built for all of us, and together we'll all get through these challenging times. Telarus is well prepared to continue helping partners build their business and care for their clients, no matter what difficulties these challenging times bring. Thank you for being part of solutions to the changing needs and requirements in our markets and in our world. I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. We appreciate you taking time to join today's event. I must take a moment to thank Telarus VP of Marketing, Amy Bailey, who expertly filled in for me 2 weeks ago while I was on vacation. Amy always does a tremendous job with this call. Thank you, Amy, to you and your team for always being willing to do so. If you happen to miss it, Amy welcomed Big Blue, IBM, to the Tuesday call. Together with Red Hat, IBM is the world leader in security and in multi and hybrid cloud management. Your clients need advice as they continue and consider their cloud journey. And many are considering moves to AWS, GCP, or Azure, but they're not certain how to do so. IBM showed us how they can capably support your clients' cloud needs. Thanks to Telarus' Dominic Singer for his input during that call as well. Also on our last call, we introduced you to a new Telarus supplier, Stratusworks, a first mover in converged platform infrastructure, platform, software, disaster recovery, and security as a service. It's much more than a virtual desktop. Stratusworks delivers a fully managed IT solution in one easy-to-use cloud platform. The Stratusworks launch call was held Wednesday, March 4th. You can hear that call as well as any of our Tuesday call recordings in your Telarus partner back office at agent.telarus.com. On today's call, we will be joined by a supplier we introduced to you just a few weeks ago. It's Observe.AI. Today discussing contact centers and how they benefit from both voice AI and analytics-enabled quality management. We've got details on features, functionality, and some use cases across some of the most lucrative industries. Observe.AI, that presentation is coming up here in just moments. Also on today's call, we'll introduce you to our newest Telarus supplier. It's Iron Mountain, a global data center and co-location business dedicated to the storage, protection, and management of information and assets. Nearly all of the Fortune 1000 works with Iron Mountain, as do thousands of local enterprises as well. Your introduction to Iron Mountain is also coming up today in just minutes on the Telarus Tuesday call. As always, we invite you to log in to our video link and live chat platform to see all of today's valuable information and to submit your questions and comments for today's presenters. Now, while we were away last week, Telarus announced our new agreement with Zoom Video Communications. Zoom is a major player in the marketplace right now, and there's a lot of Zoom being sold. There are only a few master agencies with which Zoom has established agreements, so you must register in order to sell Zoom, and your registration is tied to one specific master agency. Gee, I wonder who we'd like you to sign up with. We'd love to have you sign up with Telarus. If you're ready, let us know and we'll provide you with the link. And to help sell you on this opportunity, please join us next Wednesday, March 25th, as Telarus CEO Adam Edwards and Telarus Senior VP of Global Sales Scott Forbush join Zoom's Graham Geddes to introduce this exciting new supplier. And Zoom should simply be part of every client discussion. Let us tell you why. Contact Telarus today and join our special introductory call next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Telarus and Zoom. Don't miss this chance. Well, the events of the past few weeks have genuinely driven home the acute business need for remote workers. Customers, partners, and suppliers are all seeking answers and designing solutions to put the necessary resources in place to keep businesses afloat. We want to invite you to a very informative webinar to be presented this Thursday, March 19th, by Telarus co-owner and Chief Product Officer Patrick Oborn and Telarus Executive VP of Business Development Roger Blom. This will be on the 3 easy steps to ensure the tech necessary to enable your clients' new remote workforce. This is your opportunity to help your clients put a remote worker plan in place. Telarus executive team will show you how to do it. Plan to join this exclusive Telarus training this Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 9 a.m. Mountain, as shown here on your screen. Now I'll take phenomenal Telarus rewards getaways for 100, Alex. Let me tell you about an easy way to earn a phenomenal trip to St. Lucia, a beautiful place to celebrate your success. That is where Telarus will hold its 2020 President's Club next March. And our Telarus suppliers will make it easy for you to qualify for this award. You can either sell a combined 100K in Telarus MRR or sell a specified amount with one of the individual sponsoring suppliers shown here on your screen. As you can see from the list, there are many terrific and easy ways to qualify. This list continues to grow. Every sale counts toward qualifying for this amazing trip. Don't miss the opportunity to join Telarus next March in St. Lucia for the 2020 Telarus President's Club. Today I have the great pleasure of introducing partners to our newest Telarus supplier. It's Iron Mountain, a leading provider of data center and co-location services. Iron Mountain's global portfolio consists of hyperscale-ready, strategic edge, and underground data centers comprising more than 3.5 million gross square feet across 15 locations in 5 countries. They have a 30-year track record, and they are the most logical venue for hybrid IT with easy access to everything necessary for digital transformation, including comprehensive compliance support. John Logan is Iron Mountain's Regional Director of Sales, joins me now to introduce this exciting new partnership. John, welcome to our Telarus Tuesday call. How are you? John, are you there? Well, we hope to have John here in just a minute. We had him a few minutes ago. As I mentioned, John is with Iron Mountain. We are launching our partnership with Iron Mountain tomorrow morning. You want to plan to join us Wednesday, March 18th. That's tomorrow, beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Find out more about Iron Mountain and what they can do for your clients. Again, they are primarily a data center and co-location services provider, but this is a global business portfolio. They do business all around the world, and they have an amazing amount of not only space, but the resources necessary to enable your clients' digital transformation. John, by chance, do we have you yet?
Hey, Doug, I can hear you, but I'm not sure.
You just came on. There you go. Welcome to our Tuesday call.
Thank you very much, Doug. I appreciate the introduction. Very gracious, and apologies for whatever technical difficulties we just experienced.
Coronavirus, what can I tell you?
It must be. Yeah, and unfortunately, we were supposed to be on site both today and tomorrow. In the onboarding process and to present tomorrow, and because of the circumstances we were not able to. So we appreciate the opportunity to present live here on the call, as well as tomorrow's call.
Well, tell us just a little bit about what we're going to find out tomorrow during the launch and training call, and why this is such an exceptional new partnership for Telarus partners.
Absolutely. So we're really excited to be onboarding with Telarus as a new partner. What we're going to talk about tomorrow is basically some of the things that you indicated, our evolution into the data center space. Many of you may be familiar with our history, some of our legacy lines of services in record storage, shred, that type of thing. We've been in the IT space or adjacent to it for almost 70 years. And the data center space actually represents kind of a natural evolution and transformation for Iron Mountain into a new product offering. And we're very proud of what we have to offer at this point. We have 15 global data centers spanning 3 continents, and we've invested roughly $3 billion worth of revenue into the data center offering over the last 3 years. So again, we're super excited to discuss the offering with you. Tomorrow, we're going to go over, again, a little bit of the history and how we came to be in the data center space. We're going to talk about sales alignment and how you guys can work with us in our different sectors. The product offering is fairly straightforward, but we'll go over what we have to offer in terms of products and services, what a target customer looks like, the key benefits of working with Iron Mountain and how we differentiate, and then we'll go through a case study so that you guys can see the actual sales cycle from start to finish.
Well, this promises to be a very informative call tomorrow and very exciting opportunities for our partners to take advantage of Iron Mountain's global resources and help that they can provide as partners, clients try to move toward their digital transformation. Look forward to this call tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. Please plan to join us and learn more about Iron Mountain. John, thanks so much for being here today. We appreciate it. Look forward to tomorrow's call.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, talk soon. Well, now let's take a quick look at this week's training calendar. We have a lot of opportunity for you to take advantage of maybe a little bit of shut-in time, a little downtime this week to obtain the valuable information you need to know to be of more value to your clients. First up, as mentioned moments ago by John Logan, the official launch and training call for new Telarus supplier Iron Mountain. That happens tomorrow, Wednesday, beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss it. Later Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, StratusWorks will present special training on remote workforce enablement. StratusWorks Cloud Workspace solution enables employees to access their desktops anytime, anywhere, and from any device. This includes applications, files, and shared folders. The solution can also reduce traditional IT costs by 50%. This special StratusWorks remote workforce webinar will take place tomorrow, Wednesday, at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, Avaya presents their new UCaaS offer, allowing businesses to work anywhere. It's called Avaya Cloud Office. It's the result of Avaya's game-changing partnership with RingCentral. Now, this seamless all-in-one cloud solution for voice, team messaging, meetings, video conferencing, and collaboration makes cloud communications simple for businesses of any size. You'll find out more during this Avaya training. Happens Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Right afterward, Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, plan to join Spectrum Business for special training on Spectrum Unified Communications products. You'll learn how clients can increase productivity and reduce costs with these next generation communications solutions. We'll cover the products, network and hardware options, user features, professional services, pricing and packaging, and the Spectrum resources available. It's UC training from Spectrum Business, and it happens Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. The details and registration links for these and for many other live and recorded learning opportunities are all in your Telarus partner back office at agent.telarus.com. And there are so many valuable spiffs available to Telarus partners in this new year as well. Each week, we pass along some of the best. Here are 3 to consider as you evaluate your client's needs. First up, an exciting 2x spiff for sales of Comcast Business, ActiveCore SD-WAN, multi-site managed router deals, and business Ethernet services. Sales to new customers and qualifying additional sites are eligible, and this offer is available through June 21st. It's a big deal. 2x, Ethernet and ActiveCore spiff. It's from Comcast Business. And then next, from our just signed agreement with Zoom Video Communications, zoom into big rewards and earn up to a 3x MRR spiff on 2-year or longer Zoom contracts with a minimum $1,000 MRR. Net new customers and certain upsell opportunities will qualify, and the deals must include the Zoom Phone solution. There's also a 2x spiff for annual agreements, in addition to the 3x spiff on 2-year or longer contracts. Zoom into big rewards now through September 30th. Again, you must register to sell Zoom through Telarus. Contact us, we'll tell you how to do it. And finally, Jive by LogMeIn hopes you'll sell more faster with a 5x bonus. Just register a new opportunity in their partner exchange tool, work the deal with your LogMeIn AE, and close it on a 36-month term. And then you can claim your 5x bonus while you sit back and listen to the sound of the new contract ink drying. This terrific Jive by LogMeIn spiff runs throughout 2020. Plenty of time to get your share of this fantastic 5x bonus. These and many more fantastic deals from our suppliers can all be found at promos.telarus.com. Well, as mentioned earlier, today we are excited to be joined by Observe.AI, sometimes simplified to Observe.AI. Observe's Voice AI product transforms contact centers, turning every agent into the best brand representative. Observe monitors quality and compliance across 100% of calls and provides AI-based coaching and insights. It's never been easier to quality check every single call, to drill down on those important moments and replicate what top agents do best. Today we'll be discussing contact centers and how they benefit from both voice AI and analytics-enabled quality management. We've got details on features, functionality, and some use cases as well across some of the most lucrative industries. Jordan Yeates is Observe.AI's Director of Reseller and Alliances. He was here with us on the Tuesday call a few weeks back and joins me again today with today's presentation. Jordan, welcome back to our Telarus Tuesday call. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, and thanks for having me, Doug.
Oh, you bet. Glad to have you here. Tell us a little bit more about how things have gone these last couple of weeks since the introduction. What partners should be looking for right now?
Perfect. I appreciate that. And essentially what we would like to do today is go into much greater detail. The one question that I've been getting as I've been going out and meeting with the agents that are out there in this country that are fantastic partners of Telarus is they'd like to know a little bit more about maybe the history of Observe, how we came to be, and how we can help, especially, and Doug, you've done a fantastic job of kind of setting the expectation of the world today that we are kind of going through and how we might be able to help in these trying times with at-home agents and things like that. So that's what we're going to be going through today. And I'd like to welcome everybody. And I thank Estefania for driving the slides this morning for me. So as we go ahead and dive in, as Doug said, my name is Jordan Yeates, and I would like to give you a brief history on our organization. So Observe.AI was started a few years ago by our 3 founders. In the industry, they found that there was a big miss within the contact center space. As I'm sure all of us know on this call, most enterprise solutions and even the SMB space, whenever you call into an organization, you'll hear a similar message to what I'm about to say. You will hear, right before you get to the agent, all calls may be recorded for quality and training purposes. And what our founders came to realize is that in the enterprise space especially, how many calls are actually getting not recorded, because most, if not all, are getting recorded, but how many are actually getting monitored and or scored for quality and training purposes? How much data are they really getting back on those active phone calls? And they found that it's about 1 to 3% of the total calls that are coming in are getting that proper monitor, scoring, and evaluations. Go ahead, Estefania. Go ahead and switch. So what we went ahead and our founders did is they, from the ground up, built a speech analytics product and a quality management and coaching product for this industry. This is not something that we have white labeled and layered in that was built, purpose built for something else or for another industry. This is something that we built from the ground up, and it is able to allow your customers the ability to get much better data reporting and insights into this industry. So Fast forward a couple of years, and Estefania, go ahead. Thank you. We have launched and are now selling a product called Observe.AI. It is the voice AI platform that is able to ingest any and all recordings and call metadata from any CCAS or UCAS product and give you the meaningful data, meaningful insights, give you an actual view on what's going on within your contact center or within your agents, each interactions individually. It allows your customers to be able to be 100% compliant, and we'll go into that a little bit in a future slide. And as we click through, go ahead. Thank you. We're going to go through the architecture now. So within the architecture, all you need to do with your clients is we set up an SFTP within their contact center product, within their UCAS product. It does not matter. Prem, hosted, cloud, we will work with anything. And to ease the concerns of your customers, we are able to ingest all of this recording and data through an SFTP. So it's secure, it's encrypted. And then we do also set up an S3 bucket for each customer individually. So not only can your customers be confident that all of their information and sensitive data is going through encrypted and secure in transit, it's also going to be stored at rest. The first thing that we do, as you see in the top line, the transport encryption is happening. The first thing that we do with all call recordings as it enters our cloud is we scrub all call audio and transcriptions for any sensitive information. That would be things like credit card data, social security numbers, account numbers, phone numbers, emails, anything that those clients need us to remove from not only the audio portion, but also the transcription. And we go ahead and white that out. And so all of that data and information that you need PCI compliant, HIPAA compliant is all taken care of right at the beginning. So all of that information that they need is stored redacted. So they can be confident in telling all of their customer base and all of the leadership that they are compliant in any form that they need to be. Once we are able to do that, we go into the actual engine of Observe, and you can see we are going to be delivering in near real time all of the data, all of the reporting, all of the information to the supervisors, the QA, QM individuals that they need to make important decisions day to day and month to month, all the way up to the executive level. Now, with most of these enterprise customers, they are going to have additional CRM reporting tools. They're going to have BABI tools that they might need all of this data to be pushed to. Well, with Observe.AI, we give them the freedom and the flexibility to, as soon as we are done with all of our brain work and our AI completing its work, we can push all of that data back to wherever they need it and store it long-term for wherever they need us to have it stored. Please click. Now, let's dive in to the sentiment. In this industry, sentiment is handled two ways. The first way that we see and that we saw in the industry is our competitors and those doing this in the industry are going to be ingesting the call audio like we do. They're going to be handling all of the transcriptions, and then for them to handle sentiment, they are actually going to be looking at what is being said. So I have an example down here at the bottom. I am very happily married. I've been married for 16 years, and there are times when my wife might be in a bad mood. Unfortunately, that happens with all of us. And I will turn and ask her, babe, what's wrong? Now, if I receive the statement, nothing, I'm fine, I know that that is absolutely not true and that there is something wrong. Now, with the competitors that we run into in this industry, they're going to actually look at what is being said, and their system is going to recognize that nothing's wrong. In fact, they might even say that that customer's happy. You know, they were asked what's wrong and they said nothing, that they're fine. How Observe looked at sentiment is we understand that within our language. There are too many nuances to just look at what's being said. The most important thing that is going on in any conversation is actually how it's being said. So as soon as we are done with the redacting of the call, our system is going to send it through our AI sentiment analysis tool, and we are going to begin tagging the call, not based on what is being said, but more importantly, based on how it's being said. It is going to look at the speed, the pitch, the tone, the inflection, the deflection. It is going to look at everything based on how something is being said, because in this world that we live in, especially nowadays with text messaging and all of these other things, we know that things that are said can be said so many different ways and can mean so many different things. So with the Observe.AI system, we are able to tag and look at how things are being said initially, and then we run through the system one more time. And then when we run through it, we actually pump in and ingest what is being said. So for the complete picture, we look at how something is being said, and then we kind of do a double check and look at what they're saying, and then match it up and then determine this person is having a tough day, and yes, this is a negative sentiment, or this is a negative interaction, or we look at it as this is a positive interaction, or we will tag stuff that is net neutral, neither positive or negative. And that's really important for you to understand, because it kind of flipped this industry on its head by looking at how things are being said instead of just what is being said. Next slide, please. So in addition to doing that, we are also able to ingest all of the quality management, quality assurance, manual way and people are scoring calls, and we are able to automate it. We can do any and all existing QA/QM evaluation forms that are being done today for any enterprise company. We will put them into our system during the implementation process, and then the system is going to go through and help them fill out all of the scoring. Now, the reason that we do this and what we want to do is we want to give the power and give the job back to the QA/QM team. Instead of them spending 30 to 40% of their time in a given month trying to figure out what calls are important for them to be evaluating and then having to go evaluate them, we would like to begin by evaluating 100% of the interactions. Then based on doing 100% of the interactions, we're letting them get the 60 to 80% of the calls right in the middle out of their purview. They don't need it in their view. What we would like to see is we would like to see them concentrate on the 10 to 20% of the calls at the top end, so that they can reward those agents and provide meaningful interactions to those agents. And then put out the kudos and use those snippets and recordings and different interactions that they feel are positive done by the agent, store them, and then use them for the calls that they also need to evaluate, which are in the bottom 10 to 20%. So they can use those as coaching tools, as giving those agents that may be new to this industry or new to their call center the right ways to be interacting or answering those questions to the customers. Next slide, please. Now, something that we've recently released is we have taken just the automated fashion in which we do QA/QM, and we have added the additional layer of this evaluations and coaching. So you get a true back and forth with all of the agents, all of the supervisors, and all of the QA/QM analytics teams. So all three of those layers get individual input. There's tagging, there's note taking. You can see there's coaching, back and forth sessions. We feel that there is meaningful insights into each level of those interactions, and you should have a back and forth. You shouldn't just take the, what went on the call as gospel. You might need to ask the agent, hey, why did you answer that way? And the coaching sessions, the evaluation forms, those give you all insights individually, so that the agent knows exactly where the coach is sitting. They know exactly what their supervisor is thinking. So those one-on-ones and those sessions, you're never, ever, ever going to hear an agent again say, man, it's just too bad. I know I'm a good agent, but you just happened to pull the one bad call that I do in a given month. If you would have pulled any of my other calls, you would see I didn't do a bad job. Now, because we are evaluating 100% of the phone calls, we are able to give you a true leaderboard. We're able to give the agents a true view into what they're best at and what they need to work most on. so that they know they can go out each and every day with purpose, and they want to do a good job for their company, and they're going to be able to have purpose-driven daily activities into driving up their standing in the leaderboard. Next slide. So, in addition to all of these great things, Observe.AI also offers the industry's best 80% SLA in transcriptions. And what 80% looks like for you is this is an actual transcript from one of our customers, ERC. ERC is a BPO, and they were using one of our competitors. The top line is what their actual transcript was anytime they were taking a call for on behalf of T-Mobile, the cell phone carrier. 67% is as good as they ever got from one of our competitors. 67% is what it looks like in the bottom left corner. That is after that system had been in place for years, and that is as good as they got. When they were running a proof of value with Observe.AI, we do proof of values. We do them at no cost to the customer. We can set them up in as fast as about 5 business days. They will be on and using our system with their own recordings ingested into our system. When we were setting up this POV for ERC, we launched and received an 80% accuracy score within the transcription system. 80% is great, but it's still not good enough. So what we have done is we've built additional layers into our system that have provided, as you can see in the middle box, 80% is great, but it's not good enough. There are still a few words, a few phrases that are unclear to the AI tool, because if you look in the third box or up in the actual transcript, the name ERC, that's not an actual word. It's a name of a company. It is a group of letters. The AI isn't going to recognize that. And so what we are able to do once we work with a client, we are going to not only ingest the audio and let it run the first layer, but then we also do a thing called keyword corrections. Keyword corrections are when we go in and we help fine tune the system. We are actually constantly teaching our AI, and it's constantly learning from not only us and our help, but it's also learning from the client, and the customer has full access to go in and constantly help that AI learn. So when we went in and we taught that, hey, that RC in box 2 is not RC, it's actually ERC, it's a company name. We taught it, and it never made that mistake again, including the T-Mobile as well. We are able to do this, and now this customer ERC is running at, I just checked with them the end of last week, they are running at about an 89% accuracy rate within their transcription, which is a huge win for us. All of our customers run between 87 and 89% on our system. Next slide, please. Now, we need to look at this. I'd like to think that our sales organization is the best group in our company, but the fact is we're not. Unfortunately, the class of our company and the class of our organization is in our implementation and services. And I say that confidently because within our implementation and services team, they go out of their way, they go above and beyond with every client, with every customer that we are brought. Every single client and every single customer that we are brought and that sign with Observe.AI receive a no-cost implementation. They are able to get the system up and running within 3 to 4 weeks. And now what we mean by 3 to 4 weeks is we actually spend about a week or two building the system with them and actually getting it live. It only takes about a week or two to get our system live. But getting it live and then fine-tuning it is 2 totally different things. So what we will do is we will spend the first couple of weeks finalizing the business requirements document and building the actual system. Once we have it built, we are going to spend the next few weeks to months fine-tuning. We are not ever going to leave a client behind. And as we fine-tune, we are going to make sure that the system is running exactly based on the expectations that were set forth within the business requirements document. And then we will only let that hand-holding cease and desist once they say it needs to. So when the client is confident and signs off and says this implementation is complete, we will then be handing them off to our customer success management team. Now, I say team, every client that we have receives a one-on-one customer success representative assigned to them. They have a go-to person that they are assigned every single time. That is also no cost to them. It is super important that you understand the customer is treated as a premier service, premier support at no cost. No cost implementations, no cost support. And our support reps are based here in the US. They are a fantastic team. They are willing to fly anywhere you need to. If you as agents would like to meet with these teams, they are more than willing to come work with you and your organizations. They are a fantastic group. Now, as we come down the home stretch, we have a couple of more slides that our marketing team threw together because they're really important. Next slide, please. Key benefits of Observe.AI. We need to understand that in these trying times that we can monitor and we can help any agents. It is near real time for at-home agents as well as in-office agents. You will be able to save substantial costs by being able to monitor and evaluate 100% of your agents 100% of the time. As soon as those calls are completed, we are ingesting the call audio and pumping it through our system and outputting all of that key important data so the supervisors and the agents can know instantly, as soon as the call is done, what went on and what needs to happen based on that call. You're never going to miss a compliance gap. That is really important with the world that we live in now, with GDPR, with POPI down in South Africa, with HIPAA, PCI, all of the other compliance that you need to be, we will be able to hold you compliant to those standards. Lower attrition. We are allowing your agents and your supervisors to be on the same page for potentially the first time. The agents are going to go exactly how they're doing every single call to call. You're giving them that input. You're giving them that insight. It gives your supervisors the chance to use the carrot instead of the stick. They know exactly how to coach each agent individually because each agent needs to be treated as an individual instead of just as a group. Next slide, please. So here are a few of the powerful results that you can find with Observe.AI. So we have done some great things in a lot of industries. The financial industry, the healthcare and insurance industry, and within big BPOs. We do have over 150 customers today, all of which have over 100 agents, many of which have over thousands of agents with us. And they are seeing powerful results. We have referenceable customers. If any of you or any of your customers would just like a conversation with our customers, we are more than happy to schedule conversations on sites. We have very happy customers that are willing to have you on their site. They love showing off their sites. They love showing off our Observe.AI system. And these are just 4 of the powerful results that these companies have found with Observe.AI. Now, that is all I have for you today. I do know, oh, sorry, there is a final slide. This is kind of the brag me slide that marketing likes to throw in there. Sorry about that. So these are just a few of our customers, a few of the companies that do use Observe.AI today. And like I said, we do have Observe loves happy customers, and we do have happy customers, and we'd love your customers to be happy as well. So with that being said, I do think I did see questions come through. So with questions, hopefully I can answer for you. So Doug, I'm ready to fire away whenever you are.
Jordan, great presentation today. We're speaking today with Jordan Yeates from Observe.AI. We introduced them just a few weeks ago here on the Tuesday call, and things have really taken off. And as you can see from the presentation today, this is just one feature and benefit after another. It is time for our weekly Q&A session, and we do have a bunch of them lined up today. A couple of terms I want to just define here at the beginning, because we talked so much during the call about the importance of accuracy and compliance, but you also touched on sentiment earlier on, and this has become a big deal in the contact center space, where we're talking about attitudes, emotions, opinions as it relates to a service, a business, or a product. Talk just a little bit before we get into the actual questions about why that is critical to evaluating the types of calls and the information that's being discussed in these recordings and transcriptions.
Exactly. Sorry, yes, perfect. So the reason why evaluating sentiment is really important, or we feel it's really important, is because we need to look at additional layers. We need to look at additional insights to really get a feel in how the customers of your customers are feeling. It is a fantastic temperature check. Unfortunately, in this world, when we are communicating back and forth, we may miss things. And with sentiment, we are able to get a real-time temperature check on how that customer is feeling. And it's not just us relying on these agents determining how these customers are feeling. Because in this world, you know, when we're having communications and you know, being a child of the 80s and 90s, you know, if I think something is awesome, I might say, man, that is so bad. I love that. You know, that is bad as all get out. That's not necessarily a bad thing. And we don't want our system, or we don't want our agents to just think that's a great thing, but we don't want to rely on them to determine, is this customer happy? Is this customer sad? Is this customer mad? So with sentiment, we are looking at the additional layers, and then we are giving the immediate impact of that call to the supervisor. Because look, one thing that I learned in this industry early on from one of my mentors was, companies are not going to get it right 100% of the time the first time. But if you give the company a chance to get it right and fix any mistake that they have found immediately, that's when you're going to find a great company. And that's when you're going to have a customer for life. These customers don't expect your company to get it right 100% of the time, every time. But it's what you do when you make a mistake and recognize you made a mistake that matters. And using sentiment allows your supervisors, allows your managers to immediately be notified and find when a mistake has been made, or when a customer feels the mistake has been made. Using this sentiment analysis, they get notified, and that supervisor and that manager will be able to immediately reach back out to that customer and say, hey, this is who I am. This is going to help us help you. I noticed on this call that you may have not got the answer you were looking for. I could hear it in your voice. What can I help you with? What can I get you? I would love to be able to help you so that you are confident in our product and our services. What kind of impact is that for your customers? That's a huge impact. And so I think looking at sentiment is allowing you to make customers for life.
Apparently, you share the same enthusiasm for that than I do. That's great. I can hear it in your voice. Telecomprehensive Solutions, one of our partners, is asking, they're building on that question a little bit. Does the platform, is it capable of trending sentiment for specific customers across multiple interactions? Or I'm going to help you out here, even if it doesn't, how does that help the individual agent to be able to keep track of that and build that relationship?
Yes, so it does track everything in a trend fashion, whether it's the interaction of that one individual call or caller, so track theirs, or it tracks the agent. So you can look at it all the way down to caller versus agent over the course of time. You can look at it just through the agent. Is the agent having a good day? Is the agent having a bad day, good week, bad week, things like that. So however granular you need to get, we are able to either laser focus or make it broad.
All right, we've talked about a number of features, a number of benefits here. You talked about the no-cost ongoing single representative they have, the no-cost implementation and fine-tuning that's going on. But certainly, partners want to know a little bit about what is charged for, what is the pricing model. Alvin Chowdhury is asking, and I know everybody's wondering here. Tell us just a little bit about how this is priced and how partners can begin to talk about pricing with their customers.
Exactly. So great question to whoever asked that. I love being upfront and honest about our quoting and our pricing model. So we decided there's kind of two ways in our space that people charge. Typically, how we found historically is companies are charging per hour. They are charging based on how much audio they're ingesting. For enterprise customers, that gets really, really, really expensive. With our system, they decided to launch, and they will continue to drive a per agent model. Now, if you have enterprise customers that would prefer to be charged at a per station or configured concurrent user, however your clients need us to be charged, we can charge. We also do per month, per quarter, semi-annually. or annual billing, and we do typically, I like to do at least 2-3 year deal, but we will do a 1-year deal strategically if we need to. So it's per agent, per month is the standard deal, and it is one price. They're never going to have a variable. There's no add-ons, no additional cost. And one thing I did forget to mention, in addition to having one price, one bill, and the fact that we are ingesting all of the audio, we do not charge for audio storage. If they are currently getting charged from any of the CCAS or UCAS providers that they have, that's fine. We don't want to displace that business. We, in fact, have fantastic partners in the CCAS, UCAS industry. All we would like to do is, if they are currently paying for storage and they want to stop paying for storage, go ahead and allow us to store those call recordings for them at no cost, and we will store them for as long as they need us to, 3, 5, 7 years.
Arvin asked another question I want to make sure that we cover almost as soon as we started. He asked, now what languages are supported with this service?
So today we support the 11 different variations of English across this world. So we cover the few different variations that we have here in these United States of America, Southern and the rest of us. We then have gone out and we have fine-tuned it for the King's English, South African, Jamaica, the Philippines, Australia. We have gone out and tried to fine-tune it. We want to make sure that we are covering all of the different dialects and variations of English. We are coming out very soon with the same variation of Spanish, and once we receive those few, we will have Spanish very soon, and Portuguese is the next one along with Spanish. We will be able to release all of the other languages. I mean, if you look in this world, typically what you find is English is the one that has the most variations, then Spanish. Portuguese has a few different variations. French has a few different variations. And then pretty much all of the other languages outside, very finite languages in like Africa and Asia, are all spoken about the same, whether it's German or what have you. So once we do the Spanish and Portuguese, we should be able to fly through the rest of the languages very quickly.
Excellent. We spoke earlier on about how this solution is available for any UCAS or CCAS product. Frank Gomez is asking, what about premise-based call center systems? Is this available for use with those as well?
Yes, premise-based call center systems, as long as we can receive the call recording and metadata, and we do have current customers running on both Cisco and Avaya. We do have some very knowledgeable tech nerdy guys on our side that have come from Cisco and Avaya. So any time that you run into a premise-based system, as long as they can send us those, we can ingest them and we can still work. So with those big enterprise companies who just cannot move away from a premise-based offering, that's fine. Just bring our system in. We will give them the freedom and the flexibility to get this really cool technology without having to rip and replace the entire environment.
The evaluations, the coaching piece of this is tremendously interesting to me because it humanizes all of the other things that this can do. It really comes back to building a better agent. Talk just a little bit more, if you would, about how companies can use this to better ensure that their agents not only are complying with rules and regulations, but just becoming better agents in terms of analyzing and solving customer issues.
Absolutely. So how we need to look at this is when a call is completed, it's going to be pumped through our system and it's going to be giving it an automated score. Now, if you have new agents, one of the things that we like to do with cost savings is the cost for you to actually ramp up a new agent, to get that agent to be a full-fledged taking all the calls and all of the interactions that you need them to take. It's going to typically take time. They need that knowledge. What it allows you to do is the system, if it recognizes that a mistake has been made more than one time or multiple times, it can actually auto pull that agent off of the phones and it can schedule them a coaching session or a learning session from your knowledge base. Now, in my presentation, I talked about you have to evaluate the top 10 to 20%. What we are doing is we are actually able to take snippets, take and hear the questions that are being asked that they're not answering correctly, and it's able to schedule them to see or hear and evaluate an agent that received the same question that you have deemed that is the correct answer. And it's going to deliver that to that agent so that agent can learn and understand, oh, that's how I need to answer it. And then they can get right back on the phones and be confident that, look, they know what they need to answer now, and they can move forward and not make that mistake again. It's again, we understand mistakes are going to be made. Give your agents the chance to correct that mistake, and they're going to do it. They care deeply. I love going into call centers because call center agents care deeply for the company. They want to do a good job for the company. You just have to make sure you're giving them the right information, and our system allows you to give them that information. Empower the agent at the agent level instead of them feeling like they're constantly getting the stick from the supervisor and telling them that they're making mistakes. If you allow the system to say, hey, we'd like you to answer it this way, then they don't feel like it's the supervisor giving them the stick. Then the supervisor just gets to go over and talk to them and say, hey, I noticed that you were doing this, but now you've corrected it. That's a great job. That's what we want to see from you.
In the early days of contact center work, many of the agents, if not the companies, were responsible for ensuring that sensitive information, and you mentioned credit card information and other such things, were essentially purged or scrubbed from information that was being recorded or transcribed, whatever it may be. One of the great features of this that you brought up earlier is how the system will automatically scrub for sensitive information that needs to be removed or redacted from that stored information or transcripts. With the increasing regulatory environment, talk about why that is such a huge benefit.
It's such a huge benefit because then it takes the onus off the agent to remember, oh, I need to click this, or oh, I need to black that out, or it takes the manual nature and how you're doing it today out of the agent's hands. What we want to do is we want to clear the agent's view of all distraction. Let them just do what they were hired to do, help the customer. And if they're able to do that without worrying about clicking here or stopping this, or once they've stopped it, starting the recording again, things like that, we are allowing the agents to just help the customers. And more importantly than that, from the executive level, confidently the executives can go in knowing I'm never going to have a compliance gap ever again. With being able to have a tool that does it automatically and then constantly is checking to make sure it didn't miss anything is a huge win for the company. We want to make sure these companies know they're never, ever, ever going to have another situation where they could be charged or fined for being out of compliance.
And it isn't just the traditional companies that you think of in finance or healthcare or others. With recent legislation and rulemaking that's been passed, for example, in California, you mentioned other places having to do with privacy and other concerns, this becomes even more important. You talked about many different industries. And you also talked about BPOs, those business process outsourcing companies that contract their core business operations as accounting, payment processing, and others with other organizations. This can help them as well, correct?
Yes, it can. And because we work with BPOs so often and can segregate all of their customers individually into their own S3 buckets, we can also provide logins and access to those customers. So what they are able to do is they actually are using our product as an upsell opportunity to their customers. And they are saying, look, instead of you just relying on us scoring certain calls based on our model, we are going to score 100% of the calls, and we are going to give you access to all of the dashboards and reporting, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, and you are going to see what's going on 100% of the time. And so BPOs has really found our system a meaningful revenue generating system for them in a time where you're finding most systems are just cost ads. We need to try to help these customers find ways to generate additional revenue.
Those partners looking at our chat window will get this next reference. Senior Zachary Schechter up in Jersey is asking, what's the smallest customer or agent size that this could be used for?
So we find that we do have a few customers that are in the 50 to 100 seat range. Strategically, anything less than that, and there's just there's not a lot of value for a company when the spend is a little bit more with some of these additional technologies and add-ons from just the standard CCaaS or UCaaS product. But what we have found is most of the time, those 50 to 100 seat centers are actually more like 100 to 250, and they're starting small and they grow with us. So we do have quite a few customers in that 50 to 100 seat range, but the sweet spot is really, I'd say the 1 to 1,000 seat range, and then we do have some of those unicorns that are, the big centers that are thousands and thousands of agents, but that's not really, that's not the sweet spot that we're going after. We'd like you guys to go after them for us, and then we'll just concentrate on, that 100 to 500 seat range.
Sounds great. We're running short on time, and yet I could go on with this for another half an hour. It just fascinates me so much, and I can tell it does you as well. In a nutshell, just tell us what our customers need to be asking when they're approaching clients about the opportunity here, and to what extent will Observe.AI assist our partners who bring an opportunity in closing it?
Absolutely. So that is a great question. One of the reasons why I came on to Observe.AI is because they are trying to become the most partner-friendly software company out there. So what we have gone to market with is we will not fight with this channel or industry. Any deal that we have, whether it's in flight with a direct rep, if it's registered and you have a meaningful contact or you have relationships with that company and you come to register the opportunity, you are going to be given full access, registered to the deal, and you will work that with the direct rep and receive full payment for it. We will not have this direct versus channel conflict. It's just not going to happen. Now, with registering the opportunity, there is a fantastic Telarus landing portal for lead registration. We ask that you register any and all opportunities that you would like. We do have some great questions that you can ask. If you would like one-on-one sessions with me or my team, we are more than willing to set that up to help dive in. But really, it's the questions that we've kind of laid out today. What are you doing to ensure compliancy? How are you monitoring all these at-home agents in this trying time? Are you able to receive meaningful data and information based on how the calls are going? What is the percentage of these calls that are being evaluated? Would you like to receive 100% vision and visibility into these calls? Things like that. Just those key few things that may spike interest. Register the opportunity, and then you would receive a very fast email or phone call from me or somebody on my team, and you will be assigned, and we will work the opportunity with you every step of the way. But with any opportunity, you are the driver. You are the one that decides when we talk to them, how we talk to them, and what we talk about. So we do rely on you to make sure. Now, if you would like us to run with the opportunity, you would just like to register it, we're more than willing to do that. We are fantastic point guards and can distribute and make sure we put the right people in the right spot at the right time. But we'll lean on your expertise to decide how we work each and every opportunity.
Very, very exciting information. Our partners are going to be clamoring to find out more about this. Of course, this call is being recorded. You'll be able to access this in your partner back office most likely later today or tomorrow. And then if you have additional questions for Jordan or anyone at Observe.AI, just let us know here at Telarus. We'll be happy to put you in touch with them. I just have a feeling this is going to be an exploding opportunity marketplace. Jordan, we couldn't be happier to have you at Observe.AI on today's call. Thanks so much for your presentation today.
Hey, Doug, and to everyone, thank you so much for allowing us to come on for these last 20 to 30 minutes. And we are very much looking forward to working with the Telarus family.
Sounds great. We'll talk to you again soon. All the best. A quick reminder to join this Thursday's special Telarus training from Patrick Oborn and Roger Blom on the 3 easy steps to ensure the tech necessary to enable your client's new remote workforce. With everything going on, very valuable information. It's your opportunity to help your clients put a remote worker plan in place. Plan on joining our executive team this Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We hope you'll join us. Again, our thanks to Jordan Yeates from Observe.AI for today's outstanding presentation. Thanks to each of you for your attendance and participation today and every Tuesday on our Tuesday call. If you have suggestions, send them to us at marketing@telarus.com. We would love to hear from you. We'll be back and do it all again next Tuesday. Until then, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Stay safe out there, do what you can to help someone else, and have a great selling week, everyone.